Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with a double hop with Christmas in May and May I Scraplift You. A hop started by Crystal Barrett with Pineapple Papers. And today I am scrap lifting Desiree's tail. And that was a weird layout share. Sorry about that. So here is the layout a little closer, and I will bring up, there is her Instagram. That is also her YouTube, except there's a space between Desiree's and Tail, Tale. This is a super old little thing I have. These are also old from Jolie's. I didn't slow down the share part, so I apologize. It's going to go real fast. And then I have these scraps, which is my goal for 2022 is to use scraps. So I do use a little bit or all of that. And there is a word phrase on the picture, and so I pull that big day chipboard. I have this little ornament. I have no clue where it came from. I think it was actually on a gift. And I have these two pictures. One is my sister and her family, and one is me and my kiddos on Christmas 2019. And then I'm cheating a little bit. Her page is matted, and I have this paper that actually has this pre-matted situation, and I felt like maybe this was a good way to use this paper and save myself a little time, because I have been rushed for time and I didn't really want to rush scrapbooking. And she has some mixed media on her layout, so I haven't decided at this point what I'm going to do, but I will put some mixed media in different areas around this tan portion of the paper. But I wasn't sure if I would use sprays or ink pads or whatever. So I've got all these papers. I have these embellishments. Can you see I look like I'm rushed? These pictures in this layout. So let's see how this goes. So I trimmed my pictures down. I didn't want them to be 4x6. I should have trimmed them widthwise as well, but I didn't think about it until it was after I had already matted it on my first layer, and I thought it was not worth pulling it up and risking tearing the paper or tearing the pictures. So I could have cut probably a 1/2 inch on both of those pictures, but it's all good. I do love the way that it turned out. I'm not going to say it's like my favorite layout ever, but I do like the way that it turned out, and it's different than some, than things I've done before. So I am going to double mat this on this paper. Now, I am laying it down sideways, and it's Santa Claus and Christmas trees, but I just put a very thin border just to add a little bit more definition from the layout, and you can't tell what it is. I mean, you can't tell that Santa Claus is laying on his side or anything like that. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do still for inking. I'm thinking I'm going to use my sprays and do some packaging or something like that. And I get this little this pencil out, and I get my little extra piece of acetate out. So I'm going to put some ink down. I even pull out my fired brick ink spray out of my container, and I'm going to put some on there and make little splatters. And then I totally changed my mind. I'm looking at hers, and hers looks more watercolored. So I decided that I would get my Tim Holtz Distress crayons out. And I find a couple that I like. I start off with this one called Aged Mahogany. And I just color on this plastic piece of, it's just from where I had stickers. And I use my watercolor paintbrush, and I just start making little watercolor smears. I mean, they're not in any specific shape. They're more like circular, and I don't have any like real like where it's going. I just kind of looked at hers and made some spaces or some spots in different places. So this is a little bit more of a maroon, and then there's a lot of red in the layout, so I thought I would bring in some actual red as well. So then I pull out, after I clean off my brush, I pull out my crayons, and I have 3 different sets of these Tim Holtz Distress crayons, and I really have enjoyed them. And so I pull out a couple different packs, and I look at the greens and the reds, and this one is too limey and like a light color. So I put that back, and I find in this kit there is an actual like green. It's called Pine Needles, and then the red is called Barn Door. And then I also pull out Forest Moss. So that's giving me like a couple shades of green and a couple shades of red, so that I am not just trying to mimic the colors in the paper, but bring in a little bit of a mahogany or a darker color. So I just add a little bit of the different colors all around. And like I said, no rhyme or reason. A lot of it's going to get kind of covered or partially covered. And that's okay. It's not gorgeous or anything like when I spray with like the shiny sprays. But I do like the way that it brings a little bit of something different in the layout. And right now it looks crazy. Like my paper has the measles or the chicken pox or something. So then that color right there is the Forest Moss. So it's more of an evergreen or a brownish green, like olive. It's olive drab is what it reminds me of. And so then I'm going to bring in that green down there at the bottom, because I feel like that between the two of them, those are going to give me a better mix of color, because it's an evergreen color and I don't have an evergreen crayon. So I get that down, and I really do like the way that this looks. And I just take a paper towel and dab all the way around to make sure that nothing is wet, because I am using water to get that on the page. So I didn't want it to get too wet. So I just dab it and make sure, and it did not pull up anything. So I felt like it was good to go. I think I'm going to stand up and make sure I'm in screen. So I put the picture down, and I want it to be pretty centered between that wreath and the bottom. And I want to use this little banner. In her layout, she has the title below, and I could title this Happy Holidays. It's actually written on here twice. I could title it Big Day. It doesn't really matter. Either one is fitting. And I light adhese this down because I thought I might tuck, but I am not tucking anything. So I end up going right in and tacking it down. Thank you. And so I love you too. I get all of that down because, like I said, I'm not going to tack anything or tuck anything. I'm going to put it either on top or underneath or something like that. I do stick one little thing over there on the right side, but it doesn't cause any problems. And I thought about putting this little, sorry, my 13-year-old just came in here to tell me he loves me. I'll take that. And I will not delete that out of my video. So I was going to put this little leafy bit up here, but then I remembered I had specifically picked this little ornament to go up here to help cover up like the kitchen in the background. And it's a little bigger than I probably would have used, but I really liked, it was like a stark white and had the shiny red. And so I decided to go ahead and put it there. I don't tack down that little string that's in the tag hole. I kind of let it go on its own. I do lean it over a little bit towards the right so it's not sticking straight up, but I didn't glue it down or anything. And then she has a little banner or, banner up here at the top. And I thought this Happy Holidays was perfect. And I kind of make it hang like it's coming off of the wreath that's already up there. And then I put the Big Day down there. And all that's covering is part of our legs. And that don't have any issues with that. If I had put it on the other picture, it would have covered more of my niece. And I didn't want that. And so I then tacked down this lovely little evergreen holly berry. And it makes me laugh because this thing is so old that the little foam on the back is yellow. So I tack that down real good. And there you can see that I have moved the little string or whatever ribbon that's up there at the top. And then I found this little strip of red and white, and I just put some tack behind it. It's got some blue to it, but you can't really see the blue much once I tuck it in. And I am going to put some stickers that kind of cover a little bit of that too. So, but I'm using a little bit more of my scraps. So I put the little holly leaves up there, and I just put them on the corners, and the other corners are already covered, so I don't put them there. And it's really just a little extra something to put up there. And I end up taking the stickers off of the sticker sheet and tucking them into the right side. And you really can't see them. They don't stand out a lot. It's a couple of candy canes and a stocking. They really are just like extra something to look at and using up some stash. And I am perfectly fine with that. I have so much stuff that is so old. I couldn't even tell you. I don't even think there's a date. Oh, yes, there's a date on the back of this. 2004. I've had these Francis Myers stickers that I just put down since 2004. So, yep, that's a long time. It's almost 20 years, so time to use them. So I pull out some gemstones, and these actually came from a Paper Studio Christmas kit. And so I just pull the green and the red out and put a couple here and a couple there. And then I'm going to show you the up close again of her layout. Please go to Desiree's Tale on Facebook, on YouTube and on Instagram. And on Instagram, there's no S. It's just Desiree Tale, I think is what this says. Although if you saw something different, please do that, because you what I showed you was her actual link. So, you all, I am so sorry. My brain is a little on the crazy scattered side. Anyway, posted below will be the people following along with Christmas in May and the people following along with May I Scraplift You. So I hope you all will check them out and come back and see me tomorrow for the 26th. Have a great day and love the ones you love. Happy scrapping.